Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire. Alright, hi, this is Attican and welcome to part 7 of our Australia DLC Down Under playthrough. And in the last part we set up this nice beltway with a 3-city cluster idea with warehouses feeding warehouses, and I told you I made one mistake, and that was I let this lumber right here influence me and say, okay, well, lumber's coming from here. Well, that's silly because we've got this lumber industry here that's upgraded that we were feeding over here, and it's just amazing. We're doing so well at that I made up for the fact that I had not put all my signals in here on this line, on our freight line running to Adelaide, and we were able to do that lumber task anyway. So one of the things I remember when I first looked at this, its profits were so low, and I thought, well, why is that? And I think the biggest reason was because the trains were slowed down by the lack of signal. So I see that improving. But at any rate, we know that it's producing, I think it's producing 11.1, yeah, 11.1, and we can only use 7 over here in Adelaide. Well, 7.8 or something like that. So it'll overproduce, which we can put into this warehouse. So what we're going to do here is change this up. See, we've got plenty here. So we're going to rename this warehouse. We'll call it the FUVE, Furniture and Veggies. Okay, and then we're going to rename this one over here and take out the furniture part. Oh, it's lumber. Lumber. I don't mean furniture. I mean lumber. Sorry. I'm goofing up my goofing up here. Okay, so my correction of goofs is goofing up. Okay, fruit, sugar, and tweed is what we want out of this one. So it'll supply 3 things to our system, and this one will do lumber and veggies. Okay, good. And that means that we need to change the routes. So these trains right here are going to, from here, they will not pick up lumber anymore. And here they will pick up lumber. And I'm going to copy that route and apply it to the rest of these. There we go. And then the other line that talks to this is this line down here, which right now is doing nothing, but now it'll have something to do. We're going to change this one up and say, okay, you're still good here, only pick up clothing. But over here, we want you to also pick up lumber and veggies. And I will copy that line and put it on this one. There we go. Now we should see see now this one that had no suitable freight is now going to haul lumber over to this warehouse. Good deal. All right, so that corrected my little goof. We've just about got Pinaroo so we can start putting veggies in. And the other thing that does for us is this guy right here, this sawmill. We can now purchase this and knock it down. We don't need 2 sawmills in our little cluster. And we can replace it with the food industry, which makes our rail-o-mite, which we need. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. So now we've got the weaving and the food industry here in Swan Hill as soon as we get our access. And we've almost got our city up here in Khobar, our town. And what's that? No suitable freight. That's okay. We don't mind that problem. And we've got a train going up there with beer, as I recall, at the end of the last one, which should give us what we need. It's this guy right there. When that guy gets up there to Khobar, then Khobar's going to be ready to go. and that's going to open up our access to these things that we need, and then we can really start to rock and roll. And just a note, when you're planting these, you want to try, when you have some key thing, like I have to produce so much of something, rather than putting it in small towns, you want to put it, if you can, into a bigger town. Like here, this rail-o-mite is in Swan Hill, where we can expand that and make it faster. If we put it in small towns, you have to grow the town before you can do the expansion, because the town has to be large enough to support, you know, to have a critical mass to support what you're trying to get done. There's so many elements of the way they've done this game that I just love, and that's one of them. I love the new settlement thing, as I said last time, but I just love the idea that, you know, your towns have to be a certain mass to have a certain size factory in them. It just makes so much sense. It really does. Here we go. Here comes our beer into Khobar. Now, Khobar is a city. A town, I should say. So now that should open up our coal. It does. And our cement. It does. And especially our wool, which we want right away. So we want to run wool directly into Swan Hill. And while we're just reviewing basics, which I've been doing here a little bit in the last couple of videos, when you're setting up these lines, when you have a material like wool that's used basically by the Tweed and not necessarily by everyone else, you want to run it directly into the city rather than taking up warehouse space, typically. Same thing like here, the cattle's an even better example. The cattle only needs to go to whatever city has your meat industry. It doesn't need to go to every city in any a cluster that you might set up or any kind of an arrangement you might have to do city growth. Let's put a new station in Swan Hill. And run our line like so. Ah. Okay. Okay, so now we have, that's going to turn on this Tweed. The Tweed will automatically be shipped over here to keep our clothing, our tailor, busy. Our tailor is now going to start working, so we're going to bump him up to a level 3. And we'll try to get level 3 on all these industries we have in there. Notice we have an extra slot in Bendigo now because it's a 90,000 population. Our food industry, we're not quite ready for that because we don't have the veggies. The weaving, we definitely want it up. Let's see, it's producing 6.4, and Bendigo needs how much? 4.1, and it needs 3.2 for that. So you need more Tweed than you do just for your clothing, because the city themselves use the Tweed. So we could probably bump this one up one. No, we can't. That's as big as we can make it right now until Swan Hill grows some more. All right, so we've got our, that should get our clothing business started. What else do we have to make? The rail-o-mite. Now the rail-o-mite, all we need is for Panaro to finish off, and we can have access to veggies. And we need logs, interestingly enough. That's weird. Are we low on logs? Man, we are. We are just eating through this stuff. See, that's the thing. These cities get bigger, and then it just they just eat the resources up. I don't see the, pardon me, I don't see the, am I missing it? Oh, he's going way down there. Okay. We want the one that's going to warehouse 4. Must be up here. Nope. Aren't we shipping any logs to this guy? Well, you know, we're using them like crazy too with that furniture industry. But I can't seem to find the line that's shipping to, unless they're just, it's just the way they're named. Nope. All right, we got the Atlantic, so let's use the Atlantic now as our passenger line. We'll replace those Americans with Atlantic. Well, this is a bit ridiculous. There it is. Yeah, we definitely need more. Okay, Bendigo keeps growing, even though it's over 100,000 now. And our weaving has started producing. $2 a month. We're going to buy that and speed this up. 4, 8. Good. We want this producing at exactly or a little more than what we need down here. So now we have that. It'll get better supplies. This is producing enough to supply this, so we should have our clothing industry should be going. There it is. See, we're starting to make clothing. Rail-o-mite, newspapers, cement. And the cement, if we can have a city that needs it, which is probably going to be Indigo first. Cement, yeah, good. Okay, we can ship cement. Where's cement? Cement's right there. We got access to that when we set up Khobar. And we can run it down. How are we going to do this? Let's expand the station right here. Oh no. Our industry is in the way. The weaving is in the way. Oh man. Now we'll go out the back. If we can. Where's cement? I've lost, it's up there. We'll just go over here and tap into this line. And I do not want it to be flat. We don't care. We have money now. We can build these big, expensive bridges and fancy lines. Can't do that early in the game. Okay, let's give it another supply tower to be safe, and then run our line off of this. Too tight. Corner was too tight to go on the inside. There we go. We'll run a couple of trains of cement. Oh, I ran it into Swan Hill. I meant to run it to Bendigo. That was brilliant. Swan Hill doesn't need it. All right. Shoot. Huh. Well, our industries are crowding us up here, limiting our options on these stations. Let's make this a large one, and let's switch it up a little bit here. Let's open up all 4 tracks in case we need them. So we hook the 2 outers to the 2 inners like that. Put a diamond in front of them, or an X. And set our signals. So now all these are accessible. Which one's being used? Track 1 is being used. So now we want to run a line. Let's run a line directly from Bendigo to Swan Hill. And we can actually run this now right through Swan Hill into Bendigo, into track 2. Okay, so that'll take care of that task. And we can even have a little line, since we've got it. We can run a line between here and here. Run a couple of trains. All right. Pacific. We'll make the Pacific 67. Yeah, we'll make the Pacific our new Atlantic, our new express train. And I see a conductor, so let's get our conductor on one of the express lines. And then just mass hire everybody else. We like what we have. Okay. I gotta click on these people or they're gonna keep showing up. Okay. They still show up. What the? There. And by show up, I mean show up here as there's somebody I need to deal with. All right. How are we looking? Clothing's looking good. Newspapers. We need to deal with our newspapers. So what we can do here is put our newspaper industry actually in Bendigo. I was going to put it out here in Echuca, which we still could do. You know what I think we'll do? Let's make... shoot. I don't want to do this. I think we're going to make our newspaper industry in Bendigo. And we'll make chemicals where? Well, we can make chemicals in Echuca. We need to hook up that coal. We could make chemicals in Khobar if we wanted to. That's a long way off. And we could go here to Orange. We could make them in Orange, but that's... no, I don't like that one. Now we're at 120,000 people in Bendigo and still growing. This tool maker is worthless for our purposes now. We're going to buy that, knock it down, and put in what? Let's put in our newspaper or chemical. Let's put in newspaper. Or publisher, I think it's called. Where is it? And you know we're going to have to make cars before this is over. You can see it coming, can't you? All right, publishing. We'll put a publishing business in Bendigo. Expand it a couple of times. And that publishing company is going to need lumber, which we have plenty of, and chemicals. All right, so now and you can see how well our warehouse system is working because we've got lumber over here, even though it's made over there. So over here in Echuca, we're going to buy this publishing company because we don't want it. We're going to knock it down, and we're going to put in a chemical factory in Echuca, out there on the outskirts. And then we want to run coal, which is way up here. Oh, this won't be bad. All right, we're going to run into Echuca. We'll put a new station in Echuca. Hopefully that's not going to be in the way. Let's see if we can expand it. We can. Good deal. Gonna miss that factory. across the river. Hook into that north-south line we have going. Okay, that'll take us up through here, and we can run our coal over to this line and hook it in. Okay, so we'll have coal. All right, so let's do coal and run it to Echuca. And that's 110, so 60, 30, one more. All right. And I'm going by how many days it's taking to get there. So this chemical factory, we'll bump it up a couple of times to 6.4. And we want this coal to be producing at least 6.4. Let's buy it. Bump it up to 4. Bump it up again. There. It's producing at or above. That's what we want. We can actually use the money right now because we're building like crazy. Now what we need to be able to do is run these chemicals into Bendigo. We've got track going everywhere. Hopefully we'll be able to get
separate
out.
Australian colonies recently formed a firm
All right, we produced our clothing.
This is the birth of a new nation.
Oh, and Pinaroo is there. So real fast here, I'm going to hook in that the veggies because I know that if we can get the veggies going, our rail-o-mite will automatically start up for us because we've already got it set up to go. So let's run veggies into our warehouse system. Let's do a couple more. All right. And then this guy, yeah, he's already set up to take plenty of vegetables. Those vegetables will end up over here at this warehouse and our food industry over here, which we're also going to pump up. And see, he's getting the yeast because we set up that direct line between Bendigo and here. The yeast is coming over on that line. I thought we already had the Prairie. That was weird. Okay, we've got a level 3 food. Oh, look at this. Where's our museum? Bula's passed through 80 and doing just fine, thank you. Okay, we're looking good. All right, so we've got our veggies. That'll give us our rail-o-mite from Swan Hill. Now that, okay, the rail-o-mite can be shipped from Swan Hill to Bendigo, but we need to have now, and this is where, we really, in a way, we could blow this up and make it, all this inner stuff with this warehouse and stuff, and turn this into a real 3-city cluster the way I would normally do them. But what we need to have here is a line between Bendigo and Dimbula. And we've got this passenger line, and I'm going to kill it, I think. And it makes money, but it doesn't make that much. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to kill all these trains. I could just change the lines on them. I'm going to remove the trains. And we're going to have a new line that goes from Bendigo to Dimbula, from track 3 to Dimbula track 3, and we'll run it as an automatic line, and we'll run a, I was getting Prairie and Pacific messed up. Let's run the Prairie as a freight train. 1, 2, and we'll run 4 lines, and then that way stuff that gets made in either of these can be traded that way. And we need another one from Dimbula to Swan Hill. Our warehouse, our second set of warehouses is not enough to move all the goods that we're creating now. So we need a line that can go. And boy, I don't usually make spaghetti lines like this, but it just is what it is at this point. If I was going to do this one over, I think I would actually blow up the original setup and just redo it as a 3-city cluster. But this is fine. This will work like crazy. It should work great. I'm just going to leave those as expensive tunnels. I don't care. Put in signals. Make sure we have some supplies on it. Okay. And we need a line from here to here. Pause. Okay. Nope. I goofed right there. I hooked it up to the wrong thing. And in fact, I built all the tunneling and stuff it didn't even need. Let's try this again, because what we really want, we want to go on this line right here, which is easier. Okay, it's coming in on this line, which means it can get to, well, shoot. I said it was easier. And expand this guy and hook it in over here. Now we should be able to run from this station to that station. Good, good, good. Automatic line. And let's run that Prairie. Let's just use that as our freight train. So we got the Prairie and the Pacific, and we've got a problem up here. Oh, man. Let's see here. What's going on here? We get too many trains running up here to this Bundaberg, which we're not even using anymore. And why are they stopping? I may scream if I haven't put in signals. I did put in signals. There, at least. They're getting stopped. Oh, this shouldn't be there. That one signal shouldn't be there, but I don't think that's the problem we're having right now. And they shouldn't be stopped for that. What is he waiting on? Waiting on the train coming out of there, which I totally don't understand. Look at that. They keep waiting for the trains to come out of here. All right. What is the deal, Lucille? It looks like a valid intersection. It's clear on up through here. All right, I'm stumped on this one. I don't know why these trains are stopped. Where's he trying to go? He's trying to go down through here, which shouldn't be a problem. He's got clear track. I'm going to delete one of them and see what happens. Now, he should stop as this one. No, he shouldn't stop. He should be going up here. Why isn't he going up here? What is he waiting on? More he's waiting on stuff he shouldn't be waiting on. Okay, I'm totally stumped here, folks. That is just okay. Anybody have any ideas? Got all these trains. These are probably these Bundago to warehouse to Bundago trains. Stevens Farm to Bundago, whatever. They're the trains going to Bundago or Bundaberg, way up here. And they're just stopped for no apparent reason. I'm just going to leave them. Somebody put in the comments if you have any idea, because they're stopped. They've got clear traffic, clear everything, and this looks okay. That looks a little funny right there, but it's a perfectly good intersection, it seems like. And our signals are correct. I don't know why this train isn't going to right there. Why isn't this train coming up here, at least to that one? I'm just going to leave that. Somebody put in the comments if you see what the deal is. And I got a bunch of trains stuck down here. Again, this is too many trains. Maybe this is it. Maybe it goes all the way back here. Too many trains. We'll come back and fix that. I want to go over here and make sure I've got everything running, and then I'll come back and play with that. All right, we're making rail-o-mite. That's what we wanted to see. And we are... we've got plenty of chemicals to feed into our newspaper, so all we need to do now he said, is run a line out of here, and our industries are in the way. Yeah, less. I don't think we're going to be able to get out of here. And I don't know if we can put another station. We may have to put another, yeah, we may have to put another warehouse. Okay, we're going to put a warehouse up here, and its job right now is just going to be to take in chemicals. We'll come up with potentially other things. It's going to store chemicals for us, and it's going to run over to Echuca, so it just needs to hook into this line right here. Oops. Alright, so we need a train that runs out of Echuca, come a dedicated line right there. Should be full and run to that warehouse. And this one I'm actually going
success,
to go.
however,
I'm only going to run
a crucial
two.
question arises. Which town may hope to become the new
Okay, we
capital?
delivered our
Sydney
cement.
or Melbourne?
We're setting up, we've got our rail-o-mite going, and this delivery right here will get us started making newspapers. And we should be able to deliver them. There's a conductor out of pass carrying. Okay. All right. We should be able to deliver our newspapers to where we can. Who will consume newspapers? Bendigo certainly. How big do you have to be? Hard to say. Will they consume newspapers here? Probably 97,000. Yes, they will. Okay, we got at least 2 consumers, and we've got this one here. Yes, okay, we've got 3 consumers for our newspapers, so no problem on
Sydney
that.
and Melbourne threatens the whole
There's our
endeavour.
newspapers. We're all done.
Hopefully, the members of
And the
Parliament will
rail-o-mite
agree on a
is
capital soon.
on its way. And how are we doing over here on the food industry? A little low on veggies. It's because everybody's consuming the veggies. Are we shipping them as fast as we can? Yeah, you need to step up your game, buddy. Come on, we need vegetables. All right, now that we've got the vegetables cranked up, we should start making that rail-o-mite pretty quickly, and that'll close that off and finish that task. So let's just let this thing run until that happens. And in the meantime, I'm going to go over here and see. Oh, shoot. I think it's mostly just too many trains. Clearly. I've got too many trains coming out of here, too. So let's just start killing about half the trains we've got. Yeah, too many trains, too many trains. This line here. This one here, the Khobar, won't need that anymore. That was a temporary train anyway. Fisheries to the warehouse, we kind of need those. All this Bundaberg stuff we can get rid of. Now it's moving. I think, I don't know, I guess the problem up here had to do with the problems down here, I guess. Too many trains. Oh, still got too many trains, too many trains.
It has been done. After nights of endless negotiations, a decision has
Okay,
finally
we
been
finished
made.
off all of that, so now I see
A
what we
new
got to
town,
do.
which is to form the heart of the nation, is
Cement
to
to
be
Sydney,
established.
that'll be easy.
Canberra.
Steel to Sydney, well, I say that, maybe
There will
not.
be a lot to do in
60,000
Sydney
in
as well.
Canberra,
A
okay.
monumental bridge is to be built here. It will show the world the prosperity and progress of our nation.
Oh, a monumental bridge is to be built here. I have a feeling that's that area we were talking about where we couldn't do anything. Where was that? There was that flat, where was that spot? Well, crap. Here's Sydney. Oh, there's Canberra. See, they've automatically picked Canberra. Oh, this is that area that was reserved before. Remember? We have to turn Canberra into a town, and then build it to 60,000, and then cement and steel to Sydney. Okay, so we'll deal with all that next time. In the meantime, I'm just going to go out here and keep deleting trains. Sad. If I would be tempted, I'll probably do this whole thing over again because I'm just so pissed at myself for doing such a piss poor job on this. Really horrid. All right, so we'll come back in the next episode, and hopefully you'll see a lot. You won't see that anymore because a lot of trains are going to disappear. I may even redo some of this, just rethink it, and think about doing a proper, like a Sydney to Canberra beer meat 2-city cluster. That would be nice. That actually would work. Might just do that. All right, so we'll deal with that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player. I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for our next Railway Empire video. Thank you.